Now to an update on a man who crashed into a tree off Grayson Drive in Springfield back on November 2023. The impact killed 31-year-old Nicole Bergeron, and the driver, Pascual Rodriguez Jr., walked away with just minor injuries. Rodriguez Jr. was arraigned earlier today in Springfield Superior Court. He pleaded not guilty to reckless vehicular homicide and was charged with motor vehicle homicide by reckless operation. His next court date is January 14, 2025, for a hearing on compliance.
Still ahead, AI-powered shopping carts may be the future of shopping. We'll tell you about a local supermarket testing this out. That's next.